Hello, everyone. Greetings from New York. This is Merly Barlaan from the Women's Federation for World Peace International UN Relations Office. Welcome to our podcast, Stories of Impact. And today we have a very special guest from the Middle East, Kurdistan, Iraq. We are going to welcome and hear the story of Miss Bala Mahmood Ali. She is a very special and um, empowered, strong woman, and her stories is really fascinating. And I have with me twin Marivir Montebon,
Hello,
and
everyone.
she is also our UN representative.
Hi,
Twin, thank
Twin.
you. Hello, how are
Hi
you?
there. See you again.
Yes, June,
It's
summer,
yes,
June is almost ending. We're at the last
yes.
week of June.
Are you
We,
having fun with your summer?
oh yes,
Very
yes,
good. Me
yeah.
too.
A lot of things happened this month actually, and we are capping that with a empowering, inspiring story from one of our fellows, Miss Bala. She was our Women's Federation fellow. She went through a leadership training through the U.S. Department of State, and
Yes.
we were lucky enough to be picked as the host organization to be the co-trainer for her in November until no August to November or December of 2024.
Amazing.
So,
She feels like a little sister to me, Twin.
oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Bala is a civil engineer by trade, and she is an advocate and an enabler for women's empowerment and peace building, environmental work. So that's Bala for you in her wonderful place in Iraq, right? So
Yes. But with
let's
before we welcome Bala, um, I just want to give you a context of how she also changed my perspective and expanded my understanding and love for the Middle Eastern women, my love and respect for the Middle Eastern women.
Mhm,
I've never really worked with the Middle Eastern women. And so when she came and in person, we worked together every day for 4 months.
mhm.
I understand the culture of Islam and the Muslim culture and how the journey of actually, the beautiful, empowering journey of Middle Eastern women and Iraqi Kurdish women.
Wow.
So let's hear this
I'm
beautiful.
excited to learn from her some more too, Twin.
Yes, yes. Bala,
Hi,
welcome and thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
thank you so much. Hi, Miss Marley. Hi, Mariver. I missed you a lot. So I'm very
Uh,
happy that I'm meeting you here. Like it's virtually, but it's always when I meet you, it's one of the best moments in my life. So I'm very
mhm.
happy that I'm speaking with you again. And hi, how are you? How's everything? And I really, really miss the office behind you that you're sitting there. I miss you both. And I miss all the time that we were together and working with a great project in this office. So yeah, how are
I
you?
miss
How's
you
everything with
too.
you? Yeah.
Wonderful.
Very good.
Yes.
Busy but happy.
It's always heartwarming, remembering how we went through with a lot of conceptualizing your program, the project that was assigned to you, and then finally you put this all together brilliantly. And I remember, Bala, you were one of those 70 global young leaders who came, and you were one of the top five of
Yeah.
among them.
Thank
So
you.
tell us what are you up to now? What are you doing?
Yeah, thank you. So basically, I can answer this question into perspective. For me, right now, professionally, after the journey with Women Federation and working with women empowerment and everything, so professionally, I shifted my work. Right now, I'm a technical advisor for a women empowerment project with an international development agency where
Mhm.
we work like on women empowerment, supporting young, let's say, women through the leadership, awareness raising, and also community engagement activities. But I would be very honest to tell you that I didn't limit myself to work with the youth and the women in the Kurdistan and Iraq. So right now, a part of my voluntary work, I serve as a team leader for a review panel with a leading well network organization. So this organization, it's a small organization that is based, it's US, but they are working on, let's say, giving small funds for the youth and the leaders around the world. So right now I'm the leader for reviewing the project that they are submitting, and then after that I will be with one of the, let's say, winners. So I will be the mentors with her or him. So this is basically what I am doing it professionally, let's say. But on a personal level, I'm not saying that I found it. This is the initiative that I work with. It's Young Global Women Peace Ambassadors. So the very, let's say, loved initiative that I have in in my heart. So with this initiative, you are more aware about it, Miss Merly and Marivir. We aim to empower the young women to
Mhm.
become leaders and peace builder in their community. So I'm working with this in my community. But I would be very honest with you in this part because it's a personal one. So and all the costs and the funds and everything, it's on me. So we are now
Mhm.
facing a little bit of challenges, that due to the regional tension that we have right now in the Kurdistan, but also Iraq, the US and the Iran, the Israel and these kind of wars affected all the implementation, the funds, the security, and everything. Right now I'm here at this initiative, the Young Global Women Peace Ambassadors. I'm a bit, I would say, in a pause mode, but we never stopped it, so I never gave up. So I knew that I cannot start with a big, let's say, organization or a big fund, so I started with a very small steps, because my like, let's say, initial plan was to have this initiative in the regional or the conflicted areas where we have the conflict between the Kurdish and the Arab and the other, let's say, nations in Iraq. But I couldn't do this. So, as I said, due to the funding and this kind of regional tension, but I started with small steps. Then I introduced this initiative or this project to my former high school in my
Mhm.
hometown. So this is how I started, and I have a group of little women, so young women that we are working. And yeah, so this is what I'm doing right now.
Wow.
Wow,
I see a little boy walking.
that's a
Yeah, the little
Kosari.
boys. Yeah, yeah,
Kosari.
sorry.
I mean,
It's
it's
cute.
Yeah,
always wonderful to see, the real life, the real
Yes.
dynamics of a young woman leader, a
And
mother.
mother.
This is really a
a
reality,
mother.
working for peace, and it's always with your children and your family, and we're not complete
Yeah,
without that.
yeah,
So, yes.
yeah,
So, Bala, thank you. I mean, I am very inspired to know that despite of the challenges that we go through, you are never faced with this dream. I remember we put it together. We assigned you as the program manager and
yeah,
co-developer for the Young Global Women Peace Ambassador Leadership
yeah,
Program, and you helped me in terms of the log frame monitoring and all that. That was, you really took it to a very high level, a professional level in terms of evaluation, monitoring, and the MEL. Uh,
yeah,
so, but I wanted to know how it is being received by these young women. Small group doesn't
yeah,
matter as long as
yeah,
we develop the formula, and so when we had it conceptualized in the office, we imagine young people gathered, and we imagine stakeholders like local lawmakers and parents and educators working together to bring this to life. So how are you being received, and what are the reactions of people there?
yeah. Actually, the very, like, let's say, it was bitter and sour that I'm telling you this. As I said, I had a bigger plan to implement it somewhere else, but then I had to just minimize it and then go to my former high school. When I started to clarify and to tell my former principal for the high school, and I said, this is what I'm about to do, and I need your help to give me the small, let's say, young women that I know that they can receive this information. the way that he showed me how he's proud of me, the like how far I go, how far I come. Like when I was there, I was one of the, like, let's say, student there. So it's when I say the hometown, my hometown is a very small town. It's a district that's near to one of the bigger yeah, bigger government than in Kurdistan. So it's very, I would say, the education and the resources there is very limited. So he was very happy, and then he found out that a small of like a group of women, the young women, that they are very ambitious, but also they do not have the resources. So when I started to tell them, this is, I was at your place, and then that's me now. I have been, so you know that going to US and having a leadership program with the US department is a very big, let's say, achievement for a girl that she was lived, let's say, in the small town. So when I showed them the path, and then when I showed them this is the resources, we can work together, we can create this environment, let's say, safer. And then when I had to introduce to them the track to diplomacy thingy and the strategy, so they were very happy. And the good thing that, because I was one of them, so it's not like I came from a very fancy place, so I was one of them, that's how I would say they received this very gladly. And they were, I would say that I gave them a bit of hope that they can work on themselves, and then they can somehow invest in themselves, and they can be a good leader, and then they can be a great leader for the community. So this is actually, it was a very let's say, a very great moment for me when I saw those kind of young leaders and young women that they have a lot of passionate, but then they didn't have a, let's say, a push, or then this, let's say, a way. But yeah, I'm very happy, and I'm still working with them, and I am working actually beyond the content or the program that we developed together, Miss Merly. I'm always sharing
I'm
with them the
sure they're proud of you.
opportunities. Yeah, the opportunities and the kind of program that I like, the similar, not the same, but there's a lot of, let's say, leadership programs, not only in US but also in the other countries, in the Asian countries, but also in the Europe. So I'm trying to share these opportunities with all of them, but I also use my little Instagram social media to post these kind of opportunities to the young leaders, so that they can apply for it, or at least they can see what's the criteria, they can work on themselves to meet the criteria, maybe for the next years to apply for it. Yeah.
Specifically, Bala, what is the program offering to the young leaders? Is it training? Is it being in a fellowship? Tell us what is being developed from among the young leaders.
So basically, I would say the training, and also just showing them the path of how they can work on themselves. Because right now we are in the time that internet that has a lot of self-paced free trainings that you can go and
Mhm.
explore it. But the thing is that here, unfortunately, like all the young people around the world, the people here are not using, let's say, internet or social media or the resources for developing themselves, rather than, that they are using it for chatting and for spending time. So I would say, because I have a very limited resources, I cannot, let's say, develop like a holistic curriculum for the youth, but then I just can tell them and show them the way that they can use the
Mhm.
internet and the self-paced courses, and then as I said, the fellowships, and then the courses that they can yeah, work on themselves and
Amazing.
also develop themselves.
That's where Guapa can come in.
Yes, so this is really the long-term vision of the Guapa, the
Yeah,
Global Women Ambassadors for Peace
yeah,
Academy.
yeah,
And what would be, well, I know that you mentioned about young people, not using their maximum potentials
yeah,
through what internet, the what are available in the internet. They don't necessarily know how to use
yeah.
it productively to their own advantage. But what do you think could be the like what social or problems in your region, in your area, could be solved by this program that you're doing right now?
Oh, actually, this program is fitting my society very well, because I'm from the region that it's belonged to a country called Iraq. So I'm not coming here to talk about the all political and then thingies that happened between these two, let's say, region, but then the great country. But because Iraq in a larger, let's say, place, and then Kurdistan also, we are a home for very diverse community. We are home for Muslim people, Christian people, Arab people, Kurdish people, Yazidis, and then a lot of type of people are living together. So the social cohesion here is always, is always playing, and then it's not always at the very best its place. When we are even talking about Islam, we have Shia and Sunni. So I would say this program is really fitting to what
Mhm.
Iraq's demography is, because it's been a long journey. It's been centuries that we have a civil wars between these different type of nations. So I would say the young global peace ambassadors, it's really a good, or let's say a perfect project for let's say solving this kind of tension between the different type of nations, because we have seen for like centuries that the political people, they could not like solve this problem. They always work it on, even make it worse, right? But when you
Yes.
go with the, I would be very
Mhm.
honest here, but because they were always trying to make it worse. Why? To show, I'm better than them, they are better than us. This is the way that they are
Yes.
trying to get more votes, to get more fortunes, to get more, let's say, this is the way that the political parties they did to this nations. So I would say right now, I would say this is the time to give the civil society, the people themselves, the power to solve this problem. And this is what Young Global Peace Ambassador does actually. The people themselves, between them, they do work on solving these problems. As you, one of the examples, the bridge of peace. So this is how they can cross the bridge, and then they can hug together,
Yes.
and then they
Yes.
can, yeah, forgive each other for what's happened. So I would say Iraq right now needs this, in Kurdistan the most, because the problem here, the civil war, I'm not that much old, I'm young, but I've seen like 8 to 10 type of civil wars between the nations, between the Islam to Christian, Christian to Islam, Islam to Islam, Shiite to Sunni, Kurdish to Arab, Arab to Kurdish. So this
Wow.
is what Young Global Peace Ambassador address to
Question, Bala.
yeah.
How is the freedom of expression in your country? Are you allowed to express what your thoughts and feelings are, or are you suppressed?
I would say it's not. I'm not saying it's we are not free, but we are not suppressed. Also, it's in between, and it depends from region to region and city to city. To be
Oh, I
honest,
see.
it's not like Iraq. It's not like all the governments or all the cities are not the same. You can
I
see
see.
people that they are free more when it comes to wearing clothes, to tell their, let's say, ideas, everything in the Kurdistan region, and even in the
I see.
Kurdistan region in some cities, but not at the, let's say, rural areas. So
Mm,
I cannot say we are
that's
free
interesting.
100%, but I cannot say also we are not free. So,
Mhm.
as I said, it depends from city to city, and then from topic to topic also.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right. Yes. Yes.
yeah,
I remember. I felt really.
Mhm.
I gained like a master's degree of the Middle Eastern
yeah,
political cultural situation when
yeah,
Bala was with us. But I have a couple of questions came to mind.
yeah.
Do Kurdish or Iraqi women think like you, or young people think like you, or you think like this because you got out of your region and went to the West and had
Uh,
this experience?
yeah. I would be very honest with you. Right now, the division is being again, yeah, at the horizon, because of the tension that started right now again in the US and the Israel, because it has a direct effect to the Iraqi community, and also the political and everything. So I would
You're
say,
literally next door to Iran, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
they're
And then
neighbors.
the problem is that we are next door to Iran, and also the power here in Iraq, I would say the South Central is more, they are related to the to the Iran. But when it comes to the Kurdistan region, we are more allies with the Western parties, and with the US, and with those kind of, yeah. So it affected us very, very. Actually, I would
Mm.
say the victims that we had, the victims for the war between Israel and Iran, we were the first country that we had a lot of victims after Iran and then Israel. So this is how we got
We're
bombarding and then everything.
sandwich.
Yeah, we are very close to the Iran, but also they have a very big influence to our authorities and parties here.
Mm-mm.
And
Oh my
so
God, it's
that's
confusing.
why I would say the
Difficult.
people here, they are not thinking, I would say they are not thinking like this. Even I was not thinking like what I am thinking right now before, because when I came to US, Miss Merly, when I came, all my project were how to empower women. I
Yeah.
never thought
Mhm.
about how to empower women, but also working in a safer place or safer community. This is where I got the inspiration by the work that I did with the Women Federation for World Peace. And then when you just, yeah, I would say you were my role model. Then you
Oh,
just told
thank
me, and then
you.
you introduced me to the Young Global Women Peace Ambassadors. So this is how I found out. Okay, yes, social cohesion is one of the, yeah, biggest pillar to empower women. We cannot empower women in a community that there is war, civil wars, and yeah, this is not easy, right? So I would say I have like-minded people around me, but not that much. Mariver, if I could answer your question, so it is not that much here because, as I said, the civil war, the division is always there. So that's why I'm saying today, tomorrow, and the day after is exactly the day that we have to start to implement Young Global Women Peace Ambassador here, because it's the time to give the people the right path. Yes, this is the right path. You have to follow this, otherwise you will be always like this. You'll be always in a civil war, and then the other countries, the neighborhood countries, can control, yeah, all our fortune or our wealth. So yeah.
It's
Bala, when I remember a couple of weeks ago, I think I called you to just check on you whether you're okay, because I
Yeah.
heard in the news that bombs were raining on Erbil. Well, I don't know, raining is an exaggerated word, but bombs were dropping.
Yeah.
And you're there, you're in Erbil, and I know that hundreds of bombs already are were dropped in Erbil. How do you feel like the between our lofty goals and reality when buildings get hit, when your neighborhood get hit? How does it feel like, okay, do you still believe in this dream, in this goal, and do you believe that peace can be achieved eventually?
Yeah.
Tell us that
Yeah.
emotional and the rational experience.
Yeah. Actually, it was not 100, it was more than 2,000. Just, yeah,
Gosh, oh
yeah,
my gosh,
yeah. And then the sad,
underestimated it.
yeah, and then the sad point was that all the bombs were not coming from the Iran or Israel. They were coming exactly from South Central to Erbil. So as I said, that the people, some armed groups in the South Central of Iraq, they have, like, Iran has a direct influence or direct power on them. So they were the one that bombarding us. So I would be very honest with you, when we had to face this kind of bombarding from the people that, so-called, like, I know as a Kurdish community we always say that we are Kurdish, we don't want to be a part of any kind of countries like Iraq or Turkey or Syria or Iran, but at the end of the day we have the passport of Iraq, and then those people have the passport of the same country, but they were bombarding us. So at the very, like, let's say the very days that when you experience this, I was like, no, this is not gonna work. But then when I sat with myself and then deeply, I thought, no, this is this is the time that we have to work. Look at those people, how they have been brainwashed by the other people, that we have to go through all the wars that are happening around us. But if we had this kind of mindset that no, we need to accept each other, we need to accept each other's beliefs, nations, we never faced that. So I would say after that I was like, no, this is really needed, and peace should start with us. Like, for me, if I'm the one that thinking peace will not happen here, so who else can believe that, right? So I said, no, this is exactly the time when the war is coming, then you know how much that was needed. We had even to start even way earlier, otherwise we wouldn't be here, right? So I would say, I know that sometimes it's hard and sometimes the challenges are there, but we still can start, we still can continue with the small steps, because I know if my mindset is not like this, I can influence other three people, then these three people can replicate to six people, and then maybe by 10 years we have 100 per people like me, that they are thinking, no, we don't have to go to a civil war, we don't have to go for a war just because you're a Muslim, just because you're a Christian, just because yeah, you're in this nation and we are in that nation. So
I have
we
a
still have
question,
to
Bala.
believe it. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that's sad, but it's also being very, hopeful that things
Yeah.
happen towards
Yeah.
peace, because we can't be forever killing each other, right?
Right.
It's
Yeah.
abnormal. Like,
Yeah.
we are so that we become very destructive. But is there a pathway for women leaders that you're able to go to politics and public leadership? Is there a pathway there,
I would say
or is
no,
it
we don't
male
have.
dominated?
It's a male dominated one, I would say. I'm sad, and it's like unfortunately that I am saying this, but I will say something here, that our women, despite all these limits, despite all lack of resources, despite all this crisis and then divisions, but they are still working on themselves. We have a lot of young leaders that they do work towards not peace, but like leadership, and then they are, let's say, working on the how to support the other young people, right? So I always say, if the Kurdish, let's say, young women, if they had a better place or a safer place, they would have like created a lot of things. You would see them a lot of leaders there. So we don't have a specific pathway, we don't have a specific procedure, but people, they are doing it individually, like how I did for myself. The other people, they are doing this for themselves, and then we just somehow connect, and we are, let's say, distribute the ideas to the other people, then they can follow. This is how we are,
Yes,
let's say, working. Yeah.
great.
But this is very powerful, actually, because
Yeah.
in times like this, when it's very chaotic, and we remain hopeful. We just
Yeah.
have to be hopeful, but with strategy. And
Yeah.
so, another question that comes to mind is that when you share these ideas, these hopeful ideas, your framework of how to
Yeah.
get to a point where your community is safe, your family community is safe. When you share this to the local stakeholders, like the young people that you're sharing this idea with, the local leaders, are they as hopeful as you? Do they believe in this concept?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I would say, as I said, it depends. Sometimes they are very hopeful, like me, or they are even they're happier than me, and they are very optimistic for what's going on. And sometimes we have a lot of, like, let's say, young people that they say, no, we cannot go far than this. So this is the end, because
Mhm.
here the young people or the local stakeholders and everyone, we are like, majority of the time we are at the survival mode, just we want just to survive. But yes, I would say that most of our young people, they are very creative, and they believe that for a better future, because also they know they are working for their generation, right? So right now I'm working for my kids, just to have a better society to live. And then I would say it's not always easy, but we are very hopeful, and then we are very resilient, and we aim for a better future. Yeah.
Great.
That's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
really powerful. And thank you for that. You're giving us a lot of hope.
Thank
Now, my
you.
other question, I always know, because for hearing what you're telling us, it's
Yeah.
beautiful. When uh, when you when you come when you came to America, I remember that you were the only one out of 11,000 applicants for this training program with the U.S. Department of State. And so, tell us about that journey. What was your turning point? What was your turning point?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
I know. Yeah. So actually, coming to US and being elected among 11,000 applicants was itself a turning point for me, because I was always trying and then trying and trying and trying, and I didn't get the thing that I wanted. But then when I found this, I was like, yeah, maybe God chose me here right now. This is the right time. But then I was always trying to be hosted by someone that can really, change my mind. So when I came to Women's Federation for World Peace, I remember the very first day that we met at the office, Miss Merly. The turning point for me was like, I was always hearing that the people are not giving everything that they have, but this is not what
Mhm.
I faced or what I experienced there. So I received a lot of information from you. You never stopped to give me anything that's in your mind, and that changed my personality. I
Yeah.
was thinking very local, but after that, I'm not thinking local. I'm thinking globally, let's say, because
That's
as I
good.
said, when I came, I was just wanting to work on a project that empower women. I never thought that I can accept let's say, the Arab people, that what they did to the Kurdish people. But then when I saw all the peace building program that you have done with the peace bridge, and then how you are working with the uh, uh, permaculture thingies, so that was all the point that changed my mind and changed the way that I look at the woman empowerment, the way that I was thinking this is a woman empowerment, but this is not. So I would say this is the changing point for me. And yeah, I became totally another one when it comes to
Mm.
the thinking about the people around me, and then the peace building itself, the social cohesion itself, how it's important for having a safer place. So yeah, that was a turning
Wow,
point for
nice.
me.
Bala,
So she expanded her mind, right? When
yes,
she
Yes,
came
yes.
to Women's Federation.
yeah.
Well,
The way I
you
was
don't
thinking,
understand how much I appreciated what you said. I mean, it's very empowering, and coming from you, it's an honor. Thank you so
it's an
much.
honor also for me to meet you.
Oh,
You know, I met for the first time Bala when we were in South Korea. That
yes,
was the only time I met you personally, Bala, and I heard
Yeah.
about you because you were being spoken about wonderfully here in New York. So like finally I meet Bala. And you're so empowered. You were with baby. You
you're
were on you
pregnant.
with the second baby, and how is the baby now? How old is
Yeah.
she?
She is just yesterday she turned to 10 months.
Oh, 10
And her
months.
name is Katan. Katan,
Yeah,
right?
Yes.
and
Yeah,
then
you were in
yes.
South Korea. You're very brave. You were touring Korea with the
Yeah,
big
with the
belly, right?
baby. Yeah,
So
so the
good.
baby
Love the
inside me. So the
experience.
peace, yeah, the bridge of peace when we did it through the summit. Yeah, so I
We
would
went to
say
the
this.
DMZ.
Yeah, the
Yeah, yeah,
demilitarized
Yes,
zone.
that's a
yeah,
very nice time that we met, Bala.
yeah.
We
Very
were
honored.
we were yes, we were seated on the next to each other on the bus, and we were talking about her country, and I kept asking because it's very new to me. I wanted to learn about it, about Iraq and your
Yeah,
culture. So I love that. That was
yeah,
so
Well,
a happy
speaking of Korea, for
experience.
me also, that was a very inspiring, powerful experience. We went to
Yes.
the DMZ. It's
Yeah.
another education level of seeing the world and seeing the global community in one
yeah,
space,
yeah,
in
yeah,
one time zone.
Yeah.
And so, but you heard the Mother of Peace, the founder of Women's Federation, speak. You saw her in
yeah.
person, which is
Mhm.
very rare. So
Yeah.
tell me about that experience. What's your
Ah,
impression?
actually, if you remember when I came back from the speech that she gave, I was bombarding you with a lot of questions, Miss
Yes,
Merly.
yes, 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 yes.
Yeah, because it was very rare for me. And the good thing, imagine I was this rare that I know that a lot of people that came around the world and just to be present at her speech. But then I was there, and it was my birthday, and then
Oh,
I
yeah.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
and
You
then
said
I
it
was
was
like,
huge.
oh my God, there might be something here. I'm here. I'm participating in something that's very rare. But then when I heard about her speech and also her story, you know, that they made a kind of story about her life, how they came from the North Korea to South Korea, and then I was like, this she was alone, but then she could make this kind of impact that people around the world came, right? So this is exactly the time when I said, uh-huh. So we can also like her just make the change, right? So we can make the change. It's she was alone, and she was the individually, and then but she said she can do it. So this is what an inspiration for me also there. And then I was like, this might be a message for me also while I'm here on my birthday. And then I never thought I can be here, but something just brought me here just to witness all these things that's
The
happening.
universe brought you. What a birthday gift. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
and
It's
then
really
also meeting
beautiful.
all of you like Marivir and the other, let's say, leaders were there, all the inspired women that, yeah, they were there. So I would say it was one of the best experience in my life, and I would never ever forget about it. So like
Yeah.
US was the turning point of my life, but the Korean one was also, I would say, it come after the US, how they changed my mind, how it changed my mind. Yeah, seeing
Great.
all
Because,
the things
I believe
that
that
happened.
peace building is there's the concept, there's an ideal of what peace should be, but unless we experience it, it always remains as a concept, an ideal, right?
Yeah,
But in order to build peace, it needs to be experienced. And
yeah,
so when I first met you, when I first like when the this from the US Department of State, right, from the
yeah.
Community Solutions Office, they contacted me, and it's like, oh, someone from Iraq, and I've never trained anyone from Iraq and from that
How does that
region.
make were you excited?
No,
Were
for
you
me, and I
scared or
felt like that part of the region where it's the cradle of civilization, but they have always suffered violence, and they never had justice in terms of living the life of security,
peace?
that peace and
Yeah.
security. So I said that, okay, it feels like this woman, this young woman, is a gift. It's a destined relationship that I need to love the Middle East, and you are the window to the Middle
Oh,
East. And so for me, it's like every day is precious. That it's like God wants me to be there in the Middle East and the
Yeah.
mother of peace, and but we are never given the chance because of the political situation.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I will. I felt like uh, behind you, around you, there's a hope, and you represent millions of women, the hopes of thousands and thousands years of that hope
Yeah.
for liberation, for peace. So
Yeah.
this is what I felt. And so, and then I didn't even know that you were the winner, one of the 11,000 women, and I would have been intimidated.
oh, they didn't tell
No,
you?
no, no,
Mm.
no. So, and then when I met you, and I was so moved, I really felt like you're a sister from the past lifetime. Like I felt that we had this relationship, and then
Yeah.
to share that goal, to share that same dream, and it was so eye opening for me that you are from the Muslim background, and you're
Yeah.
telling me about what is beautiful about your religion, and
Yeah.
and to me was also an eye opening that there is something beautiful culturally about,
Yeah.
and ideally in the past how societies are formed. To me, that was so really amazing. So
Thank you.
thank you for that, and seeing you now working hard. So
Yeah.
peace is really not just in textbooks and in policies at the UN or in our um, Congress and Senate, but
Yeah.
it's really on individual relationship,
Yeah.
and how you and me with that relationship can inspire to work harder despite of difficulties,
Yeah.
and give that emotion, and I guess it's a really more like spiritual and dynamics that keeps us going. It gives
Yeah.
us energy to go on.
Right.
Exactly.
Twin,
Exactly.
I remember us in South Korea. We were looking for the flat iron to iron
Yeah.
Bala's clothes, and you call that hijab, is it? Is
The
that
Yeah. The
your
the
scarf. Yeah. Hijab. Yeah.
that's
yeah, the scarf. Like we had to look for it so it doesn't look crumpled because it's an international conference that we are
Yeah.
going to. That was so amazing. So how are
Yeah.
you balancing motherhood, Bala, and your leadership breakthrough? Is it
Wow. A
is
very
it
nice.
fun, interesting, or what is it? How is it?
always the question, right?
Oh, it's a very nice one. I would be very honest here. So I don't always have the perfect, like, let's say, balance between the work and family, because there are some days that the work needs you more, and there are some days that the family needs you more, right? But
Right.
yeah, it's not fun, but it's fun at the same time. But when I was even at the US and I had to leave my son for 4 months, I was always telling Miss Merly this. So for me, raising a child is not always like providing them with a good food or nice outfits or a comfortable life. So that's how I always motivates myself, and I say it's always about to helping them for create a safer space and safer society with the right value and also the equality. So
Mhm.
sometimes I like, let's say, I ask myself, what if one day I'm not around, right? So how can my children can protect themselves without me, right? So this is how I motivate myself, and this question
Wow.
is always motivates me, because through my work, what I do is I'm trying to create a positive change, right? So this positive
Mhm.
change would be for my kids and for my children and also for all the children in my community. So that's how I motivate myself, but because somehow I believe that my work is also one of the greatest way that I care of my family, right? But as a balance, I don't have this kind of balancing, to be honest. But when I work,
That's
I
fine.
motivate.
That's okay.
You're not alone, Bala, so don't worry.
But when I work with Mary,
You
I was
try
always
hard.
I'm doing this for my kids, and this is exactly the reality. I'm working for them, right?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
taking myself responsible for the future for them. So,
That's so
but
nice to hear.
but it's
Yes.
not easy.
Yes, it's
Yes, yes, we share,
but
all
at least you
women.
try.
Yeah, but we
we
try.
share the
We
same
do our best.
Yeah,
journey, the same
yeah, it's a
concerns
journey.
and
Yeah.
challenges. Yes. Bala, tell us about the Kurdish culture. Give us a window of the
Mm.
Kurdish culture and what are the general misconception about the world towards the Kurdish and the Iraqi culture and women.
Mhm.
Yeah, actually, I would say that the Kurdish culture is very beautiful and it's very, let's say, it's very wealthy, and we are very known that we have a very warm hospitality, and also we have a
Mhm.
delicious foods. But the misunderstanding about us, I would say, Smurly, I cannot hear you. Yeah, now I can. No,
Ah,
yeah,
yeah, okay.
it was like
Yes,
that.
yes.
So actually, the misunderstanding about our, let's say, whole Kurdish region is that we don't have a safe place for coming, but it's not like this. We are supporting the foreigners a lot, and
Mhm.
as I said, we are well known for our hospitality, and yeah. But the bad thing that I would say, unfortunately, that a lot of people around the world doesn't know us as a Kurdish.
Mhm.
So they always just when they are saying where are you from, if I say I come from Kurdistan, the very first
Mhm.
question they ask, what where is Kurdistan? So they don't know there's a place called Kurdistan, because as I said, we
Yeah.
have been divided in four countries. Part of us
Yeah.
is Turkey, the other part is Syria and Iran and Iraq. So we have always to tell them I am from
Wow.
Iraq, but it's a region inside
Uh-huh.
Iraq. But yeah, so this is the culture that we have. We are, I would say, um, yeah, this is we have our language. We have our Kurdish traditional clothes, and yeah, we are thinking for having a better future for our kids. And this is actually what the Kurdish people are doing right now. We are very peaceful. We don't have the. I'm not saying this because I'm Kurdish. We don't want to fight with anyone else, but this is the reality that we are in. This is the geography. Our place is like
Uh-huh.
pushing us to
In the
fight with the
middle.
others. But I would
Mhm.
say we are a very peaceful nation. We don't want to war. We don't want to fight. We don't want a division. But this is a reality that pushed us into this kind of situation that we are in now, and we have to fight. So there's something that we are somehow well known for, which I don't like, but I like. They are always saying that the Kurdish people they are brave fighters. I don't
Mhm.
like we are brave fighters because the reality pushed us to be a great fighters for, because we
Mhm.
always try to somehow protect our language,
Defend.
protect
Yeah.
our, yeah. So we had to fight, but deeply inside us, we never want to fight. We don't want to fight. We just want to exist peacefully like the others, and yeah. And this is, yeah,
Hopefully,
yeah,
with your
hopefully,
leadership and the next generation, you will be one of those negotiators that who will really promote peace on the
yeah, yeah,
peace talks on the table, right?
yeah,
We need
yeah,
that.
exactly,
The
yeah,
world can't continue being like this.
yes, yes,
Yeah.
Bala, I remember you mentioned about uh, the influence of your father. You become who you are because of how your father empowered you. And to me, that is very fascinating coming
Yeah.
from
yeah,
the Middle East.
yeah.
Share us that story.
Yeah, yeah. My father is always my biggest supporter. So he
Hmm.
was the one that I'm here now. Because back then when I was very young and when I was child, so it was not easy for the girl to go out to get, to participate in the courses, to go to the places that she wants. But my father was not
Hmm.
like this. He was always supporting us, and he was always like us. He was a backbone for us, so he was always pushing us to go, and he was always telling us that, you don't have any kind of difference with the boy. You are a girl, and then you have your own path, you have your own ambitions, and then you have your own dreams that you have to work on. So until now, he's my biggest support. When I achieve anything, like the very first one that come to my mind, I call is my father. Ma, dad, this is what I did, this is what I got, this is what I'm achieving right now. He was always saying, I know. The way that he supports me, he never says that you can. He was like, I know that you can. I knew this is gonna happen because I know your
Uh-huh.
personality. I know you can do this, and I
Uh-huh.
know.
Wow.
So he's always there
That's
for
so
me, and he's
nice.
always sharing all my achievements and everything. And he was and still fighted for us, because when they said this is a girl, you don't have to let her to go to this and to that, he was always saying no. She's my girl, and she can do this because
Uh-huh.
I believe
Oh, nice.
and that's how he supported us. And actually, last week I went to my family's house, and then I found that I have a little violin. And then because I
Mm-hmm.
used to go to the yeah to learn and violin, and then I was like, oh my god! And then it came to my mind how was hard back then to give your daughter the permission to go to the musician thingies and to practice this kind of hobbies. But then I found out,
Right.
aha, this was all again because of my father. And then even
Oh.
it was not only letting me to go to the courses to learn, he bought me a violin as a surprise. When he came back to home and I saw that he has a violin with him, I was like, what is this? Did you buy this for me? I was like, yes. And then he didn't know about the qualities and the sizes and everything, but he said, I got you this 3/4 because when I went to the shop and I asked the shopkeeper, I have a little girl that she's 12 and she's going to the violin courses and what is suitable for her. And the shopkeeper gave me that and he said that is going to be suitable for your little girl. And then right
Oh.
now I took back it and then I was like, I'm going to give it to my son and then he has to go and to learn and he has to complete what I couldn't complete somehow. Yeah.
Wow,
Nice of your dad.
your father is very special. He's like a cut from a different mold,
You're right.
and
Yeah.
because he's not a typical, right? He's
He's
not a typical
he's your
It's
living.
not a
enabler.
typical Middle Eastern father. I would be very, very honest with you because at
Yes.
his age now yes, we our fathers has been changed. I would say this generation changed. They are supporting their girls more than before. But at his
Mm-hmm.
age and at his kind of let's say limit resources that he had, and then the financial situation that he was in, but he always used his best to support us. So my father was not that kind of rich. He didn't have this kind of like let's say a lot of money, but he always used all the money, all the resource that he had for us. So we never like for me, I never felt that I don't have money for this because I knew my father will somehow arrange it, somehow get the money for it. So
Provider, yeah.
this is
Yeah, your
yeah.
father was also. I think if I remember correctly, you mentioned that he's one of the leaders in his time, and
Yeah, he
he was a
was. Back
hero.
then, back then, my father. You know what was my father? Actually, my father during their time when he was young, there was this division between the Kurdish people and the Saddam Hussein regime that Saddam Hussein tried to just wipe out the Kurdish people and wipe out all the people that they are speaking in Kurdish. But my
Mm-hmm.
father was one of the those people that started to teach, let's say, people or the kids at their first grade the Kurdish language, and then he started to be opposite or just spoke up for himself and then started to teach the kids the Kurdish language, the Kurdish culture, just to not be wiped out. And then, unfortunately, they took him into the prison for 3 years because he was teaching the kids this kind of language because back then was forbidden and then was not allowed. But my father's also one of those people that always knew his goal and he worked it. And then he was very powerful despite the fact that he knew this is not allowed, but he knew this is the right path, so he took it. So this is how was yeah his
So
life.
you have a role model there, huh?
Yeah,
Actually, it's
now
not
And
now
a,
only
we
and an
know.
enabler.
my mother
Now we
also.
know.
Yeah,
Go
my
ahead.
mother
Go
also.
ahead.
She's a very resilient woman. She's a woman that
Mm.
I would say this kind of strong personality that I have, it's from both. I know that my father was a leader, but because my mother that came from this community that women was not being allowed to go outside. But the good thing that I have seen from my mom, and this still with me, and it shaped me the way that my mom, yes, she is from this community that they always said that you woman that you have to not speak up for your right, but she was not, never like this. So she never accepted violence to her. So this is how my mother, like how I saw my mother, how strong she is. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say the part of feminist that I have, that I have to work and I have to empowerment. It's because that I got it from my mom. She never she never accepted any kind of violence even to us from the around us. This is she was always protecting us. If someone comes, from the neighborhoods, women, they said, this is your girl. You don't have to like let's say you have to just let her to clean the house, to cook. My mom said no. no, this is not my girl. My typical girl is not just only for cleaning the house and for cooking. I can cook, I can clean, but they have to study, they have to pursue their certificates, their dreams, they have to follow it. So I would say my role model are my mom and my dad. So both of
Oh,
them, they
nice.
have affected me, and then they shaped us in a way that we are in right now. Yeah.
You are so blessed.
Yes,
Yes,
definitely.
yes,
And that's really powerful. So empowerment, environment for peace, it really starts from the family.
yeah,
And you
yeah,
got the genes. I mean, it's not really about the genes, but it's you inherited it
yep,
from your
Nature and
parents.
nurture.
yeah,
Nature and nurture.
Yes.
yes.
Yes, that's great,
Exactly.
Bala.
You are
Yeah,
the destined and perfect ambassador for realizing the dream of peace and in the Middle East and
yeah.
for the world.
Thank you.
That's really beautiful. Now we're
Yeah,
going to wrap up. It's been almost an hour now, but
yeah.
very important question, Bala. What is your message to the young people of the world?
Yeah, actually, I would say the young people around the world, but especially in Kurdistan, in Iraq, I would say they have to believe that their voices matter, and they have to see how their voice will impact the world, and they never should underestimate their power of voice. So this is what I say, and I always say that they have to choose kindness over the hate, and
Yes.
dialogue, yeah, and cooperation over the division. So this is would be my message for them. And I was always say that they need to know that the change that we are aiming for is not always begin with the government or with the political parties. It always begins with them, and they have to be brave to dream, and they have to be brave to dream big and to know that better future will exist. So, and this is actually would be my message for all the young people. And one more thing, that they have to invest in themselves. They have to skills and skills and skills. This is what I say, that they have to learn how to find new skills, because that the youth are agents of change. We cannot change the world without them, so their voice matters. This is what I say. Yeah.
Great.
Thank you, Bala. That is a very important message for the young people,
Yeah.
especially these days with what you hear and the social media. Young people
Yeah.
are very susceptible to listening to
Yeah.
political propaganda and whatever narrative it's shoved into their
Yeah.
computers in their social media, and but we need to show them and remind them that
Yeah.
it's not the politics that matters, but it's what's in our heart to be
Yeah.
kind and to understand that there's one global family, global
Yeah.
community, and
Yeah.
it's more beautiful. And your experience, actually, your story is very powerful. I don't know if you understand the magnitude of how your story is that inspiring. Thank you, Bala, for
Thank you
sharing this
so much.
day. And
Thank you, Bala.
what a wonderful
It's a very heartwarming
story.
conversation. Thank you,
Same
Bala,
here.
and all the best
Thank
to
you so
you.
much. To you
Bala,
too.
we look
Yeah.
forward to have you in Philippines and
Yes.
Malta. Malta. What about Malta,
Yeah,
Bala? Let's go to Malta in November.
of course. I've received your message, and then I have to see. Actually, I'm still searching if I can get the visa.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yes,
and then
yes.
I'm in a contact with some of the agencies here to see how we can get the visa for Malta. I would be very
Awesome.
happy, and it's an honor for me to again to meet you in person. Yeah.
And lastly is when the political tension gets cooler and calmer, we're gonna get there, Kurdistan
This
and Iraq.
As
is
planned,
this
right?
is
As
the
As
planned.
hope. This is a
usually
dream.
planned. Yes, yes.
This is a dream
God's
for
perfect
having you
timing.
here. Yeah, to show you the reality and the beauty of this country.
I can't
Yes,
wait. I
yes.
can't.
Yeah,
It's a new
I,
world for me to be
yeah,
there. Yeah.
yeah, please. I want this
Good.
tension to be come down and to have you here and to show you the beauty of this land. Also the delicious food that we have.
Yes.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
your what's the national favorite there? Like we have pancit and adobo for Filipinos.
Like actually we have a lot of delicious foods, but
Everything.
for me, but the most famous one, it would be dolma. We have dolma, which is a grape leaves. Like we have two
Uh-huh.
type of
Grape
dolmas
leaves.
actually. We have grape leaves and we have the other one chard leaves. So the both
Oh,
of them are filled with the rice, green onions, tills, and then sour
oh,
yogurt. And then
oh.
we are layering it somehow. Did you see the alanji, the Turkish,
I think I had that in a
the grape
Turkish
that
bake
they are
shop.
yeah.
Yes,
So
Yes,
we
yes,
have
yes.
it,
yes.
and then we are layering it, and then there's a meat there, and then we are layering the
Oh,
other. Yeah, I hope
so
that you
it's
come here and then,
complex.
yeah, but it's very delicious. It's my
Mm,
always, and it's my forever like favorite food here.
looking forward
Dolma.
to having that.
Yeah, but we have
Are we
also other
supposed to wear
stuff.
hijabs too?
No, 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 no,
Oh, okay.
no, no, no,
I
In
no,
in
don't
no.
mind.
Pakistan, but when we go to Iraq, well,
Do we
in
have to wear?
Baghdad and
In
all that,
Baghdad,
do we need
in
to wear?
Baghdad, in the some bigger cities, still not. You can just go without the scarves and everything.
Mhm.
Even it's not just scarves. Whatever you are wearing right now, you can wear it here. So it's not just a scarf.
I see.
Anything
I
that
don't
you
I'm
mind.
very excited. I think and I want to visit that there's a citadel there.
yeah,
Um
this is in Irdil, the
yes.
citadel.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And well, yeah, Iraq is the cradle of civilization, the Babylonian Empire, right? The
Yeah,
Oh, I can't wait to
Babylon.
see. Yeah.
the Amitabosum, yeah. So actually, you can come, but then just for some rural areas or in that inside the South Central, you might need to wear hijab. But for the cities
Mhm.
here, it's not even the hijab. Anything that you want, you can wear. Yeah,
Okay.
And you have
yeah.
mountains and rivers, and
We
mountains
have
and then
mountains, we have
river.
rivers, we have a beautiful nature, we have some of waterfalls. Yeah,
I think really I have a preference in terms of beauty. I think the Iraqi people, Kurdish Iraqi people are the most beautiful people in the
You
world.
see that in
It's
vlogs.
picturesque.
oh,
Yeah, yes.
oh,
So
thank you
do
so
we get to
much.
see the Tigris Euphrates River in your area?
The triggers and the Euphrates are not in Kurdistan,
I
so they
see.
are, yeah. But we have some lakes that they are going to the same, let's say, rivers.
I
But
see.
no, in Kurdistan you don't
It's
have
not in
the,
that
yeah,
area. I see.
yeah, Euphrates. Yeah, it's not in my in our area.
I saw in the documentary, one of the documentaries that I saw about Iraq, there is a river there. I don't know if it's the Tigris or Euphrates River. There is a tree that ancient tree that they call it the tree of life, and it's a tourist destination.
I didn't know
Uh,
about that. Oh
yeah,
no, no, I
yeah, in
didn't
that
hear about
river.
that.
We will
Yeah,
check it out.
We'll check it out when we
maybe
go
I will
there,
check it
Bala.
out for that one also because I didn't know. I didn't hear even about this.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, no, I
Oh,
didn't hear
you're
about this, but
walking in your house now.
I was hearing that my baby cried, and then I thought that my husband is not there, so I checked that he's here. Then I came back to my place.
She's
Is
okay.
she okay?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's
Yeah, we gotta
okay.
go now because you're
Okay.
gonna be a mom again.
Bala, I love you so much. Thank you for
Same
giving the
here.
world hope. Thank you. And it's an honor for Women's Federation to share that journey and experience with you. God
Thank you
bless
so
you. God bless
much.
your
God bless
family.
you.
Thanks,
Thank you
Bala.
so
See
much.
Love
you
you much,
soon,
and
as
Oh,
soon as
see
future.
you again. And hoping for the
see
next
you.
working time with you.
Bye
Yeah.
bye,
Thank you so
Bala.
much. Bye. Have a great
Take
day.
care.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.